Essential work of Guru is to demolish our ego. Why can't we ourselves do it? Krishna says that it is like clothes, you keep changing. And now biologists are telling you that every day you are changing, you are not the same person. Every cell of your body is changing. Only thing is that you are not noticing, because the ultimate entity is not human, and you want to decode everything in human language, human understanding, human experience. This is our limitation of being human, but this is our facilitation also, because whatever other species we know, none is so capable a frame in which these many faculties are there, where you can transcend your body and come back to it. So this is not available in other species. So you can be there and you can be free from yourself.
Guruji, I've heard many times that Guru's main work is demolition of our ego.
Yes.
So why is it that we can't do this ourselves? Why is Guru absolutely needed for this? This is a wide question.
Yes.
The question he is telling is that we say in Sahaj Smritiyo that the essential work of Guru is to demolish our ego. So his question is, why can't we ourselves do it? Why it is necessary? This is the question. See, we have to understand two things to begin with. If we want to understand anything, we have to begin with the beginning, where we are on the same page. Satsang means at least on one thing we have to agree. Have to agree is not a compulsion. That is why satsang is all the time, which keeps for so long duration, so that you become clear and you come on same page. But it is necessary. Real satsang begins when we are at least on one thing fully in agreement. Not even an iota of doubt. At least one thing. Because it is like taking off. You are taking off, so the ground has to be, the runway has to be same. There has to be a runway. So if you go higher, then you say that I have come back to the hangar. From here, our hangar or that runway or that place is what is one truth on which we agree. This is absolutely true. So then our journey can take off. So here we are saying where what can be there. So I say there are three questions, three ways you can do self-inquiry. Are you there? Are you not there? You may or may not be there. These are three possibilities. If you think about yourself without anybody's help, as is the question, why can't we do it ourselves? So when ourselves we do the self-inquiry, these three questions you have to ask. Different people at different stages of their consciousness conclude them differently. So if you come on to this conclusion that I am not there, then you lose the right to ask any question, because the counter question will be then who is asking the question if you are not there. If you say I am there, then I say till what time you are there, because it is a present indefinite sentence. I am there, then I am forever. So you are there or you are not there, which you settle for. Then your satsang begins from there. When you say I may or may not be there, that means you are saying I am journeying, I am yet not come to the conclusion. Sometimes I feel that I am beyond life. This life, like the Krishna says, that it is like clothes. You keep changing. And now biologists are telling you that every day you are changing. You are not the same person. Every cell of your body is changing. Only thing is that you are not noticing, because the grossly change manifests very gradually as compared to lifespan. Otherwise, you are the same child who is grown old. So there is change. That means we are changing all the time. So I am not there, or I may or may not be there. They keep on working on this question. Somewhere these are the three places. So wise ones come to the conclusion that I am there. I am eternal being. There is no other possibility for my. Otherwise, there is no point in any satsang. If you are for some time for this life, then you know better how to live, because there will be compulse, there will be your choices and everything. You will live according to that. What is the need for satsang? Since you come to this conclusion that I am eternal, then you want to realize within this life span, possibly, that how you are eternal. To reach that stage of realization so that you become living liberated. When you become living liberated, then you become amenable for Paramartha. Now only you become capable of working for others. So long as you yourself are not liberated, how can you liberate others? It's not possible. How can you do such work? It is not that I'm talking in absolute terms. Everybody, some social work they are doing, some donation they are doing, some Tirth Yatra, they are different way people see differently. But a real realization happens when you are liberated. That now, like Meera says, Satki now, Khivatiya Satguru, Bhav Sagar Pariyayo. That with this true, my boatman is Guru, this boat is made of truth, and he is rowing it. So rowing is this sense of being bored, which we call Bhav Sagar. Bhav means to be, Sagar means ocean. So this world they are saying allegorically is like an ocean. It's like boat. So he is rowing it, which is now I have come across. So this coming across, despite life being there, you become free from it. So when you become free, then only you can choose. That is why even in material terms, freedom is most sought after. Our ancestors have given their life. Not two, 3 generations back only we fought this war and we won the freedom, even materially. So how important it is spiritually. So we had given so many tools I have given that you define what is freedom, what is independence, what is salvation, what is liberation, so that you come in degrees to that realization. So now, when you are eternal, now you have not realized the whole, but this sense has prevailed. Your reasoning and wisdom tells you that I can only be either forever or I am not there. What is the point? Even if I am living 10,000 years, but after 10,000 years, same fate is waiting for me that I will not be there, then what is the point? Point is only when I am forever. Otherwise, I am not. Even if 10,000 or 10 lakh years or 10 Arab years I am there, but ultimately I am not there. That thought will keep haunting. So you come to this realization, this understanding, no, if I am, then I am forever, otherwise nothing makes sense to me. Now, since you have not realized whole, but you have come to this conclusion, so where do you stand? Because if you have realized your eternity, then everything will be clear to you. So you are working as an ego, that you realize something and you have yet to realize something. That is how you define an ego. Ego is very necessary to live. Without that, nothing works. But demolition means not killing it. It is a metaphorical way of saying it. That now it has become sublime. That for whatever work it is needed, it is there. But people define it very wrong way. Aham is the word. Aham means I am. How are you? You are as he is. Now, this is clear that if he is eternal, whatever entity you are naming it, Guru or Paramatma, that is eternal. You and he is all pervasive. So you automatically have to be his part. You have to be in every way like him. That you are saying no, to some extent I am like him and some extent I don't know. So that is ego. That it is evolving. When it reaches to that realization, no, I am exactly like this, and there is no difference between ocean and it's a drop. Then your ego ceases to be. So when you can't do it on your own, because when you are not knowing the whole way, then that ultimate being who is all pervasive, can a all pervasive physical being you imagine? It's not possible. You will find it absurd. So you find some person, if there is a possibility that there is some mechanism, some way that this person has figured out how this is, how to attain this realization, what is that who realizes me. So we say in here it is wisdom, dhi. So you go from intellect to intelligence to wisdom. Through intellect this communication is happening with us. But you all, as many of you are listening, your dots are connecting differently. Because your experience of life or intensity of your sadhana, your bhav, your santha is different. It is entirely individual, everyone's. So you are differently placed. It is like in the sky. If you consider, suppose, Guru or Paramatma as sky, then you are like stars into it. Everybody have their space. Everybody is evolving the way. There is no such place, you can't go beyond that. You move as much as you want to move, because the sky is open. There is no limit to it. So when somebody such is available, then every time your ignorance is there is somebody to tell you that this is where you have reached. Otherwise, how will you know? Because the ultimate entity is not human, and you want to decode everything in human language, human understanding, human experience. This is our limitation of being human. But this is our facilitation also. Because whatever other species we know, none is so capable a frame in which these many faculties are there, where you can transcend your body and come back to it. So this is not available in other species. So you can be there and you can be free from yourself. So somebody who has figured this out, we look for that. Now you reach somewhere. Suppose you are doing on your own. This sadhana can be done through your, because system has been told this is how you have to do. Now you reach somewhere. There is nobody to. How will you know that you have become that? Even if you have become that, how will you know? Who will tell you? Who will verify this? You find wherever you are going, you are finding yourself only. Suppose you have evolved to that. That possibility is there. You have evolved with self-effort so much that wherever your consciousness going, you are finding yourself. We say, no, mind, even mind is all pervasive. Brahman, we say, Brahman, that mind which has become like Brahman, all pervasive. So, but there needs to be somebody to tell you some boundary you touch. Even oceans, when they touch a boundary, they, this is my shore. This is Hind Mahasagar, this is Prashant Mahasagar, this is Anand. So they know their boundaries. In sky, like you become, and you are expanding, and there is nobody. So how will you know what else is there? You don't know. So that entity, which is eternal, has to be like you in some form, so that your verification comes. You give your acknowledgement that this is how I have reached, this is how I am seeing, what next? And then he tells, no, this is the next thing you do after go for this. So our ego stays in check. So if there is none, then we say, oh, I am only all pervasive, then your ego takes over. Because you are not, you are part of that. Even in this whole manifestation, all the granthas, whatever granth means, the gurus who realized whatever they described. That is how it is. So they say, even Krishna says, even whatever is this you are saying, after showing this Virat Roop, he says what? By part of my whole, as I am, only all this is manifested. Only a very small part. Consider, suppose you say 1/10 or 1/4. Generally, for the sake of real, somewhere it is 1/4 people write, but he doesn't say exactly. He says part of me, very small portion of me make this many. So how much else big I am that you don't know? Because this frame is not capable of knowing that. Knowing. Yes, you can realize that you are part of me. Who am I? So by that relationship, you are eternal. Otherwise, you just imagine there will be competition for ultimate being. That A has become ultimate, or B has become, or C has become. Who is the real God? And that is how our stories are very wonderful. When there is, to explain this, when this Jatayu passes away in the hands of Ram. So what happens? Because he saw Ram as manifestation of Vishnu. He always thought he is Vishnu. He never saw him as Ram. Some saw, Tulsidas is other way around. He says Ram is ultimate, so his one form is, their subtle form is Vishnu. But so entity is same, people are seeing differently. This is Jaki Rahi Bhavana Jaisi Prabhu Murat Dekhi Taisi. Whosoever seeing them, so he has the liberty. So when he passes away, so what happens? Geet De Taj Dhar Hari Rupa. So he becomes, when he changes the form, so he becomes who he was worshipped. The moment this is over, all the time he was meditating upon the form, he becomes that. He becomes Vishnu. And now you think of the Vishnu, look, all Vishnus are there. They worship. Now who is the real one among them? How will you know? In every sense, we say in spirituality, last satsang also only I explained this Sayuj, Sami, Sarup, Salokya. That means Sayuj means being in union. Sarup means being the same as he is once you renounce this. Salok, in the same lok you are staying. So what else is left? So where is the difference? Only he will know I am not this. I am not the ultimate. I have been worshipping the ultimate Vishnu. You understand the difference? Only that Jatayu will know that I am not real. So his ego will stay in check. Others might see maybe he is, because that is how it is. When saints evolve, they are in the likeness of divine. Now those whom they are worshipping, all the attributes keep coming. So now you see the layer. Some people, those who are below in consciousness, they will start seeing him in God. That is what a guru-disciple relationship is. That in a living being you will start seeing. Oh, this is how it is. So the trust comes. There is something. Because I am seeing through my physical eyes and my intellect, through my intelligence and through my wisdom. I am capable of seeing this to real. So ego stays in check. If there is no other, then you get confused. Because you are stuck with your what you consider knowledge that may be ignorance. In a degree, because ultimately you are moving and keep knowing only, what is there, how much big is there. So you say it is infinite. So to make that point only, we said we put these categories, that immortality, infinity, and then eternity. Just to give the indication that immortality means ultimately that you are forever. See, infinity we give an indication that you are expanding. Then by eternity we say that you have arrived there, attained that I am the part of that complete. Since that complete is always there, by the same relationship, I am there. And when you put this in place, then all shastras like Gita or everything will open up like everything. Now you really read them and understand what he is trying to say. So, even for the Arjun, any pair you take, whichever, there has been always a guru and disciple. All are like that. So, this is not possible to demolish our own ego. Then because who else you are creating? Within you, who else other you are? Who will demolish? If you are one, who will demolish? Who is demolishing you? Who will verify? This will become very confusing. So there needs to be any example you take, to look at your own face, you need a mirror where the things are. Likewise, to know your Swarupa, I need to see somewhere so that things are put in place. Otherwise, we will be riling always in ignorance. So that is the reason that we ourselves cannot demolish. It is, if we think deeply, so you can't say we ourselves, you will have to say I myself cannot demolish my ego. Because we includes more than one language. So you only will say I demolish my ego. So who is this you are referring my to? Same I. So I is still revealing, staying there. I demolish my ego. How is it possible? It's impossible. There has to be somebody else who you find, this is where I am missing. So this relationship stays forever. That is why it is eternal. Because that is why it is called a Leela. Because in appearance level, it is, look how funny it looks. Whom we are saying we exist, that really doesn't exist. Really whom we are looking for, that alone exists. So existence is that alone, of that alone. This is not there. So you become almost nothing. That is where your ego is not there. You know ultimately it is him only playing with himself. You are nowhere. Otherwise, that is why there is a problem. Because everybody saying I have arrived, I am there. That is why so many religions and whatnot is coming out. Because everybody is claiming where it supposed to be reached, I have reached there. Here in our path we say no. When you really get a little bit off only, then you become so humble that you say, Shishyo ka hu shishya mein, how this I am. I am disciple of my own disciples. That humility comes. Because then you know the reality that you don't know through whom he is going to manifest before you. There is nothing, when you consider that only prevailing in each and every particle, then from where it will come, if you even judge one, then it is going to harm you. So you have to become subliminal. There's nothing like that. So that only is possible through behavior. How we are behaving others. A behavior is always in certain circumstances, conditions. Your own evolution, to what extent in same condition, different people behave differently. So this we have to understand very clearly. If anybody we judge, then it is judgment on ourselves. We can only behave. See, somebody comes as a, for instance, fight with me, yeah, we are ready. Because that is the behavior. Certain behavior in society, because you are living in a context and a condition. You are a country. People are considering your country. So if you are a citizen of that country and then another country is fighting, yes, your job is to fight, not to run away. So behavior, what is behavior here? Otherwise you do your sadhana. Next moment war is over, you engage them as friends. Again you give them chance. You made a mistake. That's what happens. A war happens and then people go and sit on the table and negotiate that I made mistake. Give and take happens and then again the story continues. Because these vikaras, which we say, vices, they come. Why war happened? Somebody made a wrong behavior. Somebody manifested unmanifestable behavior, which they should not behave. So society is trying to tell them, teach them a lesson that for the rest of the society, no, you should not behave that. This needs punishment. You correct your behavior. There is no enmity or malice. See, there are two different things. We do not have any malice towards anyone. You are not doing the behavior which is good. So we are correcting that this is the behavior. So this is a very grand question to ponder over, that how to define we. Who are we? Where is your limit of we? in these limit spiritually. So there is a field difference. If you are in a spiritual field, then your we includes all. Any country, everything. If you come to the religious field, then your boundaries begins to manifest. That this is not we, they are we, which is false. But they have not reached to their spiritual realization. Because of that, they are identifying, these are brothers, this is my brotherhood, this is not my brotherhood. These follow this person, so they are us. They don't follow, so they are not. So they are judging. While in spirituality, the field, there is no judging. Because we have just now said that he alone exists, everybody is part of that. So where these religions come, where the sects come, where the country come into that? Nothing. Living, non-living, everything is included in that. So wisdom tells this. If you ponder over sanely, you will conclude. So all the things you can conclude except not coming clear on your ego. Because after knowing all this, still you are ignorant. But you will consider yourself, I am knowledgeable, I know now everything. So who will verify this, that you know what? To what extent you know? So demolition of ego is only possible through another entity. And that entity has to be like us. Because this frame only is asking. Suppose I make free, all of us are freed from this frame. We will be not talking this. We will be talking in this, that consciousness in which we will be after going away from this frame. This will not come into a context even. This will be entirely different thing. So that is where it is needed. So anywhere, this field difference has to be understood properly. That if we are talking as a spiritual entity, then our we includes all. But if we are talking in lower terms, religions, then nation states, likewise, then it comes down to the family. Then there also members are there. This is husband, this is wife, this is father, this is mother. Those may be small groups. Then you yourself, within yourself, you come. There also you say, no, part of me I don't like. Part of me, these qualities I like. So your we is getting very squeezed where you are. And then you say, no, this is madness. So you go through a spiritual path where you become all encompassing and then you behave according to the situation. So this is how it works. So if our ego is not demolished in the sense put into the right place, then what will happen? We will be stuck with that. To what extent we have acquired, we will be staying put there. Because there is nobody other. You can't do it on your own, simply for this reason, because you don't know. So once this is gone, then these questions used to be. This is how it works. So in the world today, such a problem is this only. Because of ego only, problem is there. Somebody who is ruling, what else is the issue we are facing? Somebody who is in the army wants to become the president, want to stay there, ego. So he put all the things in this thing. So many people are in turmoil. You see, if you are head of your nation states, two-nation theory, what will happen to the people? Knowing this, it will affect only others, not our people. People are not that much wise either. If they will think, no, you are shooting others only, you will get shot also. So this ego is only possible to be demolished by others, not by self. How there are so many challenges. We pick up few and we start working. How we pick up? We see our preparedness. That to what extent I am prepared. On the one hand, we always keep working on our own evolution. And as much capable we become, that much part we start doing for local. That is how we say we are here for others. But we ourselves have to be liberated first. Then nothing much will be required to be told. You will exactly see how to behave there, what's to be done. So this knowledge needs to be manifested, first of all. At least on one thing, if all people are agreeing, then there is chances that people will come to clarity very fast. Because that on one thing which all agree, that can be made part of the education system of the whole world. So then the next generation of children, that's why we say our narrative is the children of whole world and Indian women, because there is a balance. They have balance in them. And that is the future, so-called future. Because if you do not include all, then even if one person is left behind, who is not coming your definition of we, that person can spoil the whole world. No one should be left outside. You have to resist Sangachatum Samvadatum. That means it is not for a group. We may be a group because others' number has not swelled. But in our minds, we are not a group. We are including all. We are open for all. Our definition of we is for all. We are talking about earthlings. How many come? That is a different question. But we have in our heart, we have included all. So that inclusion, when it comes, then there is this, how to stop people from becoming khal. In today's language, you say terrorist. The Sanskrit word is khal. So that khal means somebody who is knowing that I am doing wrong and don't want to change. Like Duryodhan says. That is why our narratives are there. Ravan, very knowledgeable. But ego is there. Duryodhan, very knowledgeable. Nothing like it. But ego is there. He says, I know I am wrong, but I don't want to change. I want to will. Then you are a problem for the world. Your existence is spoiling others. And if you say, I am open to change, then we include you. But you are saying, no, this is the way. No, this is not the way. Then you need to be demolished. Because you have gone beyond repair. Irreparable you have become by your own admission. Because you have a right to choose. You are openly saying, no, this is the way. So that is how it is. We include all. There cannot be other way around. When you say eternal, infinite, how else you can say that without saying that you include all, at least in your principle, that all are part of the same one. Now this part of your body is not functioning well. You say it is gangrene, it will become, or it is cancerous, you need to remove this knot so that the whole rest of the organism survives. That is how these khal are. They can be anywhere. So you have to identify them. And if there are some processes or some principles which people, how to call them, principle teaching, that they are written in such a way that they will create khal only, then those teachings needs to be corrected. Who will correct that? Whom you have authorized? Have you authorized anyone to correct that? There is the problem. If you do not authorize any living being to correct what has become outdated, then you are in a trouble. So in Sanatana Guru Shishya Parampara, this is always open. Ki what has become redundant, please make it a Nitya Nutan, that it is applicable for today, because it is not meant for the human beings. A book is not meant for whosoever is coming now. Ape came, they kept the books. From ape, they became chimpanzee, they kept the book. Now they become human beings. Still we are running with that, the book. Book is your ideal or human being is your person to be, for whose welfare you are working, for whose evolution. So that is the problem. When you say no that, then you are trying to make everybody to go the same ape age. That is the mistake people are committing. So that needs to be corrected. Now how can this be corrected? Will it take time? We have already stated, if at least one thing is there, if you call a thing a religion, at least one thing should be there that you say essentially it is common among all religions. Otherwise, how your thing can be called a religion even? There is not one thing which you share with the whole humanity. You are so exclusive that even if the whole humanity is going other way around, say still this is that. It is meant for human beings. So at least one principle should be there. So that brings us to the essentials. If essentials are put in place that these are good for all human beings without exceptions, then put that into the education system, in the curriculum. So next generation of citizens, global citizens, will shape up, because we are what our education, partly what our education has made us, our culture has made us. So that is the way forward. If you keep giving religious doctrines in the childhood, then you are going to create the divisions further. You have to give only spiritual truths, that this is applicable openly to all. There is nothing hidden here. For every human being, this is good. Please open your mind, don't fall into beliefs, become evidence of this knowledge. And then the humanity will be at peace, because now, you see, new technology is coming, AI. Now, two days back only, he launched another program, giving this we call agent AI. Now, where are we going? Now, everything is going to be delegated to the AI only. Your job is only to stay conscious and move your blink here and there. So you need to be very conscious. Even if a wrong wink happens, pata nahi who will get demolished. Part of the world is gone just by your wink. And that is what the Shastra says. In the eyes stays the whole creation. भ्रुकुटी बिलास जा सुलय हुई. भ्रुकुटी बिलास means आंख ऊपर नीचे हुई, पलक बंद हुई तो दुनिया खत्म, पलक खुली तो दुनिया चली. So that realization is already there. AI is only human creation, and human's ultimate potential lies in its consciousness, not in its intelligence. Intelligence, though, we are capable of replicating. Consciousness, we are not. It is happening the way it is happening. You can only align with it. How the supreme consciousness is, you can align, regulate, moderate yourself and regulate it. But alignment is, which we call a laya, or which we call a yoga, that you have realized your ultimate union, that you are inseparable from the ultimate. If some religion is teaching you that no, that he is he and there is a disconnection, then you are spoiling the whole consciousness movement. Here we say that no, you can never be separated. That's why we put this relationship very clearly. The guru-disciple relationship is only one, where they are not two. No guru can say, whom we are same, we and you are two. He said, no, we are same. We are only one. Only skill difference is there. For your convenience, you have made somebody guru so that your ego stays in check. It is in fact seeker who makes somebody guru. It is not the guru who makes. We make, for my convenience, please play this role, so that we go up. Otherwise, who will take care? And that is how it is working. So we see that him only in that image. That's why in how many satsang we see, if we are not doing, then there is no point in making. Because if you are not seeing him ultimate, then how he is going to be bridge for the ultimate? So that is how it works. So this is the way forward, that ultimately some grand truth, common narrative, has to be accepted by all. And finally, it should boil down to education. No other way. Because education is one thing which is common across the globe. Whatever they are giving, syllabus, curriculum is different. So we are saying at least one thing you put same, on which everybody agrees, then no, this is good for humanity. If we have not evolved to that extent as humanity, that even we could not find a single thing across whole humanity, then what human are we? What is the humanity you are talking about? Whole humanity doesn't have one thing in common. So there are so many things. You put them. That is why we explained in today's question, which was asked in last segment, and we gave it that in a newspaper today, how the virtues are there, how the eternal values are there, how the universal values are there. So this is the whole journey. We work from values, we begin human values, and then we go to the universal values, we go to the eternal values, and finally virtues. When the virtues are manifested, then there everybody will be solutioner for something or the other. When we become solution, world left it up. Everybody is looking for solution for something. So there will be n number of solutions available for one another. And that is what the Paramarth is. You are here for others, so by the same token, other is here for you. And then the world becomes beautiful. When you are alone, then you are egoist, then all problems will come. Because you will be secluded, cocooned in yourself. And then this kind of leadership is born, what we are suffering. The whole world, any part of the world, a war happens. Whole world is now disconnected. No? Everything goes topsy-turvy. What happens between any country? What is happening between Ukraine and Russia? Whole world suffers. What is happening in Israel? Everybody has to suffer some way or the other because the commodities are moving with so much across globe. Here in our border, something happens, we all suffer because of that. So, only this way we can move forward when everybody becomes Paramarthi, not egoist. So we should work in that direction.
We need to know that we are part of Him. There is no separation.
Yeah.
But in our Sanatana Dharma only, there are some people who think we are part of Him, and some people say there's a Supreme Other, and we are something else.
Mm-hmm.
Right? How should we take that? Because this is something that we ourselves feel like we are not agreeing upon something.
So those who are there needs to be a debate. If some sect is saying, then we say, where from you are. If you have to, it is like it has to be debated very openly. Samvad has always been our tradition. That is where the Upanishad we took. Upanishad literally means when the two people are sitting and talking about the ultimate truth. This is the Upanishad means to sit near like we are sitting. So anybody who is disagreeing with, we call them and let us have discussion. That is how Sankaracharya moved throughout the country at that time. He went to every place and see what is your what is your principle, how are you living, what is your priority, what principle you say this is supreme. I am ready to give my life for this because this is my life. In other words, that is how it really is. This is how I am living, this is my life. So when people discuss, come, then say you tell where from you are coming. So if they tell any granth or book, then we go to the root of that book. How this book is saying this, that no, there is no separation. So that is what I am quoting Sankaracharya because you said in our Sanatana Dharma. So he is the most revered figure, common figure. What did he say? He started writing. So much he wrote. But three things are popular. He wrote a treatise, this is called Prasthantrayi, on Gita and on Upanishad and Brahma Sutras. These are the three things on which he wrote his Bhashya. Bhashya means treatise, commentary. So he wrote the commentary on the three because these are considered three which espouse eternal principle. So in Gita, Krishna is very clearly saying this. How he is saying? He says, Muni Nam Aham Vyaso Pandava Nam Dhananjaya. Because he is telling this to Arjun. Dhananjaya is his name. So he says, I am. I means Krishna, me. He speaks about himself there as a third person. Muni Nam Aham Vyaso Pandava Nam Dhananjaya. Vrishni Nam Vasudeva Vasmi. Kavi Nam Ushna Kavi. So four person he is naming. Now listen carefully. He is saying, among the Vrishni Vansis, I am Krishna Vasudeva. That means he is not referring there himself as the Krishna. He is saying he is different. Who I am speaking. It's like I say, in this Bharat or this thing, I am Nandakishore. That means I am not speaking. It is somebody else is speaking and taking it as a third person, like anybody else. He is saying in this Brishnivansh, Krishna I am. Though the voice is coming from this body, but he is not identifying with this. He says, no, I am that eternal voice. This is not. Very many times he says, Avijanati ma mudha manushi tanumashratam param bhavam ajananto aham bhut maheshwaro. Jo murkh hain, they consider me as I am dependent on this frame. अभिजानाति मां मूढ़ मानुषी तन्माश्रित. मनुष्य तन पर आश्रित होना मूढ़ लोग जानते हैं. मूढ़ एक अवस्था है. क्षिप्त विक्षिप्त मूढ़ एकाग्र निरुद्ध. These are 5 stages defined by Shankaracharya. So mood is in the middle. He says one who has reached to the middle stage, this is the human rights and all these are discussed. So they consider the human from the इसी पे ही सब कुछ, beyond there is nothing. So he says only mood knows this. I am dependent on this. Those who have become wise, they don't. So he is differentiating. He says among the Vrishnivansis, I am Krishna. Among the saints, Munis, I am Vyas, who has written this Mahabharata and this Gita, which will come to you. Among the poets, I am Shukracharya. His another name is Ushna. So these are 2 names. So he is the same. And he is a Pandavanam Dhananjaya. Then he is among the Pandavas, I am Arjun. That is means you, to whom I am talking. So he is differentiating that. But he is saying all are part of me. So he is speaking himself that I am somebody else. You don't consider me this. From where I am coming, I am just manifesting here as body like you for your sake. But I am not this. So even Gita says that if somebody is saying, same thing is in Brahma Sutras. Brahma Sutra, every Brahma Sutra is defining this only, that you are that. Same is Upanishads, all the Upanishads, 10 Upanishads he commented. All Upanishads, there are more than 300. But 120s are very well known. Upanishad means this dialogue. Tomorrow if somebody publishes this, what is we are talking, it becomes an Upanishad. Because this is a conversation. So that time they were rare, they were remembered by people, so they have come to be classified as Upanishad. So all are saying the same thing, that he and you are not different. So where from these people are coming, whom you are referring, they need to come on table and get their ignorance cleared. That is why we are saying we have to come on to one principle. If there are any such, there are. I know there are. For the sake of Vada, that is different. For their enjoyment, like the Advaita Vada, Dvaita Advaita, Visishta Advaita, they know that ultimate is one, we are part of that, but for the sake of play, I want to create this. For my, you see, we say now, how you devote your time. So we say, काव्य शास्त्र विनोदेन कालो गच्छति धीमता. जो बुद्धिमान लोग हैं उनका मनोरंजन कैसे होता है? काव्य शास्त्र का विनोद करते हैं. अदरवाइज देयर टाइम गो समवेयर एल्स. कुछ हाईली अटेन्ड है वो अपना मेडिटेशन करते हैं. एज मच एज यू आर रिलेटेड टू द वर्ल्ड. So for sake of that, if you are creating division, for the sake of play, you take one role, he takes another. But in the essence, you remember that this is a play. If you have forgotten, then you forget that this is a play. You consider it real. And that is where the ignorance seeps in. And that is what our all stories are woven. Like Narad. He did so much tapasya that Kamdev could not do anything. Means he could not. So he thought, I have attained. I have become. Then only he was shown his place that you have not attained. And he committed all the mistakes. There only. Ego. So even when you have won all these 6 enemies we call Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad, Matsar, still you are not attained. You have crossed the enemies. Now you have no enemies. So that manifestation is needed. So Krishna is saying he is very clear, but his language is so clear that it takes so much, rigor, tapas, Guru Kripa to understand that. After having shown the Vishwarup, where he is shown that Arjuna is part of him, everything is part of him, is in him. And he said, this is my part in which all is reflected. How big I am, you can't imagine. But that too you are seeing from the vision I have given you, not from your own vision. Divyam dadami te chakshu pashmai yogeshwaram. If you want to see me, I am giving you that divine eye. Okay. So that he could see something. So that has to be very clear. That relationship is like that. He is the ultimate being, is like that. So he's saying, after having shown the Vishwarup, he says, how you can do this? So every act we see first says that he says, Yagdan tapasya pavanani manishnam, Yagdan tap you do. Later on, see, inse मैं नहीं मिलता हूँ. If you do Yagdan tap, you will not reach me. First he divides and says, इनसे नहीं मिलता हूँ. So should we stop doing that? Why are you telling it all? That's why the Arjuns confounded all the time. आप बोलते हो फिर refute करते हो, फिर बोलते हो फिर refute करते हो. What are you trying to say? He said, no, these are pavanani manishanam. ये आपको पवित्र करेंगे, so that you become capable of seeing me. But there is a way. He said, मत कर्म कृत. जो मेरे जैसा काम करता है या मेरा ही काम करता है, मत परमो. जो मुझे ही परम मानता है, अल्टीमेट मानता है, मद भक्ता. क्योंकि जब आप उसके जिसको परम मानोगे उसे की भक्त हो गए, मेरा भक्त हो जाता है. एंड ही इज संग वर्जिता. ही इज नॉट रिलेटेड टू एनीवन. किसी को वो और एनीथिंग एल्स ही इज नॉट टेकिंग अलोंग. निर्वैर सर्वभूतेषु. जिसका किसी से कोई वैर नहीं है. ही इज नॉट एनिमी. कोई एनिमी नहीं है उसका. निर्वैर सर्वभूतेषु मामेति स पांडव. वो मैं ही हूं उसके रूप में. इतना स्पष्ट बोलता है. वहां भी बोल रहा है कि ये वासुदेव के रूप में मैं ही हूं, लेकिन मैं कोई और चीज हूं. वासुदेव के रूप में भले मैं हूं कृष्ण के रूप में, बट आई एम नॉट दिस. मुझे इस शरीर से मत आंको. यहां भी वही कह रहा है विश्व रूप दर्शन दिखाने के बाद कि जो ऐसा ऐसा करता है वो शरीर मैं ही हूं. सो अपने पैरेलल वो ला रहा है. जिस रूप में ही इज बोर्न एज ए कृष्ण, ही इज ट्राइंग टू ब्रिंग एवरीबडी टू दैट लेवल कि आप सब इसी लेवल पे आ जाओ लाइक. बट दिस इज नॉट मी. मैं कुछ और चीज हूं. सो एटलीस्ट इफ यू रीच देयर देन यू विल स्टार्ट रियलाइजिंग कि वास्तव में मैं हूं कैसा. बाकी विश्व रूप तो आपको दिखाई दिया कि व्हाट इज दिस देयर. आज की भाषा में इफ यू वांट टू से कि आपके साथ JWT आप देख लो, वेब्स टेलीस्कोप से देख लो, कितनी आकाश गंगाएं, क्या दिख तो रहा है ना सब कुछ. इतना बड़ा है जिसका आप कुछ पता ही नहीं चल रहा है. देन यू कम टू नो दिस इज सो बिग. दिस टाइनी यूनिवर्स ऑफ योर्स इज नॉट अ बिग थिंग. And that also has been proven by scientists that it really doesn't exist. What more? Forget spirituality. Science is proving it that doesn't exist. जो हम सब सामने बैठे हैं, सब कुछ इतना कर रहे हैं, it is not existing in the scientific terminology. तो ये सब लोगों ने they already realized this. That's why there is spirituality. कि if you have to realize your eternal existence, presence, you have to become spiritual. You have to become a good human being. There is no other way than this. This is how it is. In this age of artificial intelligence, it is much more relevant.